good about counting because one time I didn't count. And
right back there.
It was like I forgot to tell my guests to wait for me under the pavilion, and they were already all on my bus. Like I parked where that 16 is right there. So I thought they were all on there. And I just, on my way over, there was like a cool green spider on the door, and I like let it crawl out of my hand a little bit. And I sit there and I put it up here, and I start my bus and I just start rolling, right? And out of the corner of my eye, I see like 2 old people booking it down the hill towards my bus. And they were mad. And I was not about to explain to them that I almost forgot you because I was looking at a cool spider, you know? But it was really cool. It was like lime green, it had like really big bangs. Yeah, but anyway.
It's like the one that I saw.
Yeah.
It was worth it, I guess. But anyway, we're gonna keep moving.
Let's hope we don't have the ostrich try and steal anything this time.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
I need to save my battery.
Alright guys,
Maybe on the way back we can.
let's vlog that.
How about on the way back we can I'll plug my phone in.
We are going to continue on with the second half of the tour here. Now this first half, everything you guys have seen has been from Asia. And from now on, everything you see will be from Africa. And I'll let you know if it's any different. But for the second half of the tour, just try to think of something that, everything you haven't seen yet. I'm looking at those askers right there.
That's what those are called, askers.
Yep, and purple askers. And askers and stuff are funny. Askers and goldenrod, just because, you know, they're really easy to identify the family, you know. You can see a goldenrod from a mile away. You can see askers, you know what an asker is. But there's so many different species of each one, and it is so hard to identify the different, you know, species and stuff, you know, but, oh man, I mean, we tried doing it in botany this year, and we just can't. It is so difficult. There are so many different goldenrods. I have like a whole chapter to the goldenrods in my flower field guide, but anyway, we just love carnivore. Now there are 2 groundhogs that live around carnivore, and I just realized that at the beginning of the tour, I used the term whistle pig, and it never really dawned on me until like a few years ago that not everybody knows what a whistle pig is. My great grandpa used to trap groundhog to make a living, right? And he always called them whistle pigs. Because if you scare them really bad, they make this big loud whistle noise, and you know, scare the crap out of you. But anyway, there's 2 groundhogs, or 2 whistle pigs, that live over by carnivore, and one of them had gotten in with the 4 Cheetah Brothers one time.
Oh no!
Right? I was there that day. I mean, I just missed it. I was like speeding on my way to carnivore because I heard it on the radio, and in a minute it just said, just let whatever happens, happens. And so I'm speeding my bus down to the carnivore. Like I stopped talking, I was focused. And but by the time I got there, it was already over. So the cheetahs need hunting lessons because it was 4 cheetahs on one groundhog, and that groundhog, I saw the video, it would get behind him and hiss at him, and then they'd try to chase it, and it'd get behind him and hiss at him again. And that went on for 10 minutes. And yeah, he got out. So now we got a groundhog that's especially a problem because he thinks he can stand up to everybody now. And groundhogs especially are very cocky animals. Groundhogs are the only animal that if you catch them in a live trap and you gotta let them go, when you let them go, they're the only one that will come back at you. They will run out of the trap and then turn around and try to get you. You know, so just in case you ever find yourself in the position of releasing a groundhog from a cage, just keep in mind that you gotta keep the cage in between you and the groundhog for a while until he either gets tired or you kick him or something. Because he is not going to give up until he gets a little bit of drink out, you know. Groundhogs are crazy. And there's no real way to get rid of them either, other than just to trap them or shoot them, you know? But anyway, we are going to head back to pasture. Something really cool that I didn't get to talk about with the Doles. Doles never breed anywhere that's not the wild, right? It just doesn't happen. They never breed under human observation. So it was a big deal when one of our female Doles ended up pregnant. And our Dole guy was really excited. He got to write a book on how to get Doles comfortable enough to breed and stuff like that. And how to make sure they're happy when they're pregnant. And he was just kind of learning as he's going because this has never happened before. So, when it came time for the birth, something went wrong, and the mother ended up dying. It was something with the uterus, I can't remember. But they saved the puppies, and he had to write another book on how to handle your whole puppies, because that has also never happened before. But they're all doing fine, and the Doles that you guys saw, there was that fence in another field, that's where those Doles are, the puppies. So they got their own little pack now, and they're doing okay. Really, really interesting. And cheetahs are starting to do this thing called bottlenecking. People ask all the time why there are cheetahs in separate cages. And it's because you gotta be very careful with cheetah placement. The 4 cheetah brothers are in there together because they're brothers. They are siblings, they're from the same family. Kano is over by himself. Because if Kano gets in a fight with one of those cheetahs, they're all going to get up on Kano, and it's going to be bad. So Kano's by himself, that other cheetah's by himself. And then if we have female cheetahs, they cannot be on the same cage together no matter what. Because you cannot have any unobserved breeding. Because the species is beginning to do something called bottlenecking, which means that the population, the numbers is getting so low that eventually everybody's going to be related to everybody else, and they're not going to be able to breed anymore. So you got to be very, very careful with it. And we got tiny little sycamore trees popping up all over the place in here. I don't know why, but today I'm just now noticing how many little sycamore saplings we got going on.
Look at the water. Do you see?
But anyway, just a reminder, you guys, keep your eyes peeled for an eagle.
Do you see any birds? He shot it out loud. You see any birds?
Make sure I'm not driving on the road. Now another one of their favorite spots to hunt is right in this little grove of dead trees. Anyway, maybe one of them found a different spot they like better. But this is Spillman Lake. Spillman Lake is created thanks to Miller Dam right here. This is our deepest lake we have in the wilds. It's about 60 feet deep. If you're wondering how deep 60 feet is, just take a look to the left. Now the bottom of that ravine is about 60 feet. Now Spillman and Miller, these are just names of farmers that have given up land to the wilds that they couldn't work anymore.
There's some right there. Look over here. On the right. See over here?
Oh, that is our redneck homemade system to keep the water moving. So in the winter time, we don't got to worry about the lake freezing over, and the animals try to cross over the ice. And this way they always have water.
So it's basically a homemade aerator.
Yeah.
Alright, so you see The ones, not the band, not the Szechuan talking, but the, yeah. Anyway, this is what we call the Losers Club. You can see the last of them up there. But these are the Fair-Dated males that don't get girlfriends. So they hang out with each other all the time. And there's one specific one that I'm thinking about, who's especially sad. Because he had lost his antlers, and I think in a antler sparring or something. But yeah, like in the height of the breeding season, there was one Fair-Dated male
I see him.
who had like no antler on this side and then just a little nub like that on this side. And
Poor guy.
yeah, no, it got bad. Like he like stopped eating. Like he like got really, really skinny for a little bit. He looks fine now, but oh man, he was sad. And I'm sure he appreciated me bringing like 30 people at a time to call him a loser and to laugh at him. But he's okay now. It's not like he was going through something.
Oh no, not a bit.
Anyway, we get a closer look at our Szechuan talking. I think we get to see some of the younger ones. I think this one to the left is one of the younger guys. Yeah. Now you can tell by the horns, he hasn't ground them up enough. They're still kind of long and straight like that.
I'm out the way. Oh, there's some on this side too.
Yeah. But you see this guy right here, he's a little bit older. You see the horns? And they're kind of shorter, look more horns a little bit. Oh, there is a bird in there. Oh! I'm trying to decide if that's something we can look. That is something we can look at. Oh my goodness, there's a bald eagle. All right. Now he's hunting mice, I think.
Straight out ahead of
I see it.
Yeah. There.
I don't know if I can get my...
Anyway, I don't know if we're going to be able to see him or not. But there he is. He's just kind of flying around. That's either a bald eagle or an osprey. Hold on. It looks a little small for an eagle. But then again, we're far away. But we'll, that might be an osprey. Ooh, I don't know. Because look at the tail. You know what? I think that is how you know it's an osprey. If it's just the tail. So, yeah, he's looking for bulls, I think. But anyway, I think he'll stay over there long enough for us to talk about these guys. I think he's taking a rest. No, he's not. He just went over the hill. But anyway, he's over there. Well, if we're meant to see him, we'll see him. Okay, so closer to us, because there's 3 animals right here. Now closer to us, the little orange things. Those are the bantay, also known as the jungle cow. And you know, they're cows, pretty much. You'd be surprised how much wild cattle act a lot like domesticated cattle. I thought we bred stupid into them, but apparently it's just natural. They were meant to be food. These are actually the natural prey of the dholes. They're from the same region of Asia. We're practicing artificial insemination with them as well. But you can see we got one male out. He's one with the black fur. His name is Seamus. And Seamus is out because A, he cannot make babies, and B, we can talk about sexual dimorphism, which just means that the males look different from the females, right? Now, from the bantay over to the right, those animals right there, those are the scimitar, they're the sable antelope, I'm sorry. So the sable antelope, all of our antelope are here as model species, which means that we study their behavior here. There he is, there's an eagle. Anyway, we study their behavior here so we can better take care of the ones out in the wild. But we're also breeding a lot of them. These guys, actually, the ones born here, got to go out into Chad and Africa as part of a reintroduction attempt. Got to go on a reservation. It was a really big deal. We were really excited. And then over there are the Grevy zebra, named after Jules Grevy. He was the president of France at the time they were discovered. And they have the finest stripes of any of the zebra species, and most consider them to be the most beautiful. So poaching is a really big deal with these guys. But we got a small breeding herd here at the Wilds. These are all females on the male two-step. He's got a hoofstock. Speaking of hoofstock, does anybody like Secrets of the Zoo here? Anybody a big fan of Secrets of the Zoo? I figured. We'll actually be able to see hoofstock just here over the hill. Anyway, but what happens when a female zebra gets pregnant is that she'll just leave the herd and follow loosely behind for a while until she has a baby. And then her and her baby will not rejoin the herd until the baby knows its mama by her stripes. So, really interested in that. And then the stripes also play a big role in the camouflage, obviously. Now, believe it or not, there are no plants out in Africa that are black and white striped like that, right? So, what it does is that if one zebra feels like a predator is watching them, they'll start freaking out and running around in circles and bucking and kicking and making noise, and then everybody else will like circle around them and do the same thing. So all the stripes pass at one another. It creates an optical illusion, and the predator can't tell now whether it's a bunch of zebra or one giant animal that it knows it can't take down. Right?
Oh, that was a good way to do it.
And more often than not, it works, believe it or not. But over here to the left, I'll look at see it better here in a second, but this is hoofstock. This is where that show Secrets of the Zoo is filmed. Usually you get to see some of the animals that are out. Yeah, you can see one of the ostrich, one of the Bactrian camels is down there. They're kind of moving behind the cover now, but
I see something over there.
yep, those are still can't tell.
There's an ostrich coming out the door.
Yeah, there's an ostrich coming out of the barn there. I think those are probably eland. We'll talk about eland here in a second, because we'll see those still. Alright, anyway, it's just really cool to see where the show's filmed. Personally, I don't watch it, right? But I mean, I have no reason to.
Because you're already here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's 20 minutes away and I work there. But it is fun sometimes. I did turn it on for like 10 seconds one time because
Right there by the
Coach Wickham was in the background of an episode.
fence.
And whenever
looking
somebody
at you.
from Byesville, Ohio is on TV, the entire town tunes in to watch it. You know, even if you don't like them, you know, but that's why we got really excited for West Virginia University, because a kid from Byesville got to start right tackle. Josh Sills. Oh, he got drafted to the Seahawks this year. Not Seahawks, the Eagles, I'm sorry.
That's all
he's on
birds.
Special teams this year. He's a rookie. But anyway, not important to you guys, but I'm really proud of Josh Sills, a guy I've talked to once. So, but I took his position on the Meadowbrook football team 3 years after he graduated. So, yeah. Am I good enough to get on the Seahawks? No. Alright, so all the way out there, you can just kind of see them. There's white little goats out there. Those are the scimitar horned oryx. Now, they're another antelope species we have out here. And they're built for the dry, droughty weather of Africa. I'm going to pull over here because we're not going to be able to get a good look at them otherwise. This is the best we'll get, I think. They're hiding over the hill. So, they got these white coats to reflect the sunlight, keep them a little bit cooler. And they also have a specialized liver where they don't need to use as much water as everybody else, so they can conserve water better. And they also have these big scimitar-shaped horns. That I used to say this as a joke before I saw them do it. They could actually reach their head back and scratch their butt with those horns if they wanted to, which is totally what I would use it for. But I mean, I'm sure there's another use for them. But I'm not going to look it up because it'll ruin the joke for me, and I don't want it to. So, over millions of years of adaptation and evolution, that's what those were bred for. To scratch your butts. That's what it's been leading up towards. Alright, big bump here, guys.
It's marshy. It's marshy.
Yep.
Okay.
It's for the giraffe. Measure how tall they are.
Let's see what else is out here. Okay. So yeah, if you guys look over here, these are the southern white rhinos, especially these ones out here.
Oh.
Will stop out. But anyway, southern white, they're thinking now was a mistranslation. With the first people who were putting them in a book, as the locals, what they called them, the locals said southern white. They thought they were trying to say white, but they think now they were trying to say white because they have a big white bottom lip that helps them grab more grass. Because unlike the greater one-horned Asian rhinos that we saw earlier, who were browsers, these guys are grazers. Sorry. Anyway, so these guys are grazers, meaning their whole day is to eat grass, right? And that big white bottom lips help them grab more of it. Now you can tell which ones are mamas and which ones aren't. This one right here, it's a guinea pig. The mamas will sharpen their horns to be really, really long and really, really sharp. It's kind of a social distancing stick to keep the males away. Now, just so you guys know, it is more or less the same deal with the poo, with these guys as it is for the other rhinos, okay? So the latrines and the sniffing it, it really goes to watch them sniff it because I saw them do it one time, and they really just kind of put their, nostril right on a nug and they take a whiff. But anyway, we're very, very proud of our Southern White Rhino breeding program. We have about 20-some rhinos in total, with about 6 generations born at the wilds. So we are one of the world's best breeders of Southern White Rhino, aside from just a couple of ranches out in Africa. So it's really cool that we're able to do this in southeastern Ohio. We even got a grant from the HARES program, which is a foundation committed to the continuation of species like this. They gave us a whole bunch of money, and they're allowing us to be part of certain experiments. Such as a few weeks ago, some of our rhinos were painted, and the ones with paint on them got to wear this band. That was the track rhino fitness. It's supposed to track heart rate, blood pressure.
Oh, wow.
And I always think that I'm going to find a better way to say it, but it's pretty much just a rhino fitment,
Yeah.
But here's the bigger herd of the back hands. Get to see that again.
Girls, come here, look. Look at this, look at this.
But I'm not trying not to speak.
Over here, over here.
Because there are some pretty cute ones.
They do look like deer.
Well, they're kind of deer.
Yeah, these guys get way bigger than my tail. Bigger than pronghorns. Yeah. No, you can tell, especially on this guy, how, yeah. Yeah, no, 15 pounds on each side. So that's like 30 pounds on top of his head right now. Now, before the breeding season, when they're still growing their antlers, they have something called velvet. The velvet is just a thick layer of skin, thin layer of fluffy skin that grows over their antlers, keeps them safe. But when it's time to take them off, take the velvet off, they still got blood vessels in there, and it doesn't hurt them to take it off. But when they do, the blood vessels pop, and it looks like they're bleeding from the antlers. So, right? The reindeer at the Columbus Zoo, velvet right before Christmas, you know, right when everybody will see a reindeer. So, Christmas time, all the kids at Columbus Zoo get to huddle around the reindeer enclosure with their hot chocolate and get to look at the reindeer with the frozen blood all over his antlers.
There's birds on the rhino's back up there. That's funny.
I saw it, yeah.
Alright, but we'll get to see these guys here. Or, as soon as I check the time. Yeah, we're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Man. But here, let me, everybody will sit down and I'll get closer to the riders here.
Mom and baby just laying there.
You know, you can really see the birds on his back. There's birds on a bunch of them's back. That one there.
No, they're probably, the birds are probably, you know, picking mites off of them or dead skin, stuff like that.
These are African?
Yeah, these are from South Africa.
They're bigger than the other ones.
Yeah, much so. I think, here, I'll give you guys a comparison. The biggest greater one-horned Asian rhino is 2,500 pounds. The biggest southern white was 20,170. So, oh wait, no, never mind, that is population. Oh, I feel so bad. Okay, hold on. So, let me read the chart right. So, the heaviest greater one-horn was 4,840, and the biggest southern white was 6,000. So, yeah. So, 2,500 on average more than the greater one-horn.
The biggest cow I think I've ever seen is 1 ton.
Oh, yeah.
Is 1
Well,
ton.
well, here they go. Yeah. These guys are just like giant cows with horns. You know.
2.5 tons. 2.5 tons the biggest cow I've ever seen.
There you go.
There's another one back there with huge antlers.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But yeah, no, these guys are so big. A lot of people overlook with these big mammals like this are the feet. Now, they literally cannot have feet like ours or hooves like the Bactrians because, you know, they're so heavy, they would break their own knees. You know, their antlers, if their ankles were that narrow, I would put too much pressure on their knees to walk around, and they would make it like a year, and then snap their legs in half. So their legs need to be almost like marble columns holding up the White House, right? So they have these big, wide, flat feet that helps them. It gives more surface area to distribute the weight around, and then they're really thick like that. And that's all muscle right there. Kind of keep the knee in place and all the bones. Hold all the weight up.
Pretty much eat grass and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Now they do have rhino pellets that they feed them about once a day. If anybody watches Secrets of the Zoo, Cody does that. He'll come out and they'll spread it around for him. People always like it when Cody comes over the radio. And yeah, if they recognize his voice. I don't know how you watch the show so much that you can recognize his voice over the radio. Because I convinced my buddy Kenny to fly out here with me, and I still cannot differentiate his voice from anybody else's over the radio. And I've known him my whole life. So. There, but anyway, I'll move up closer to the rest of the back fans. There's one specific I'm looking for. And you